Okay, so you're not an exerciser. You never have been somebody who exercises or likes to exercise or is even interested in exercise. Yet, you're more than 40 years old, 50 years old, 60 years old, creeping up on 70, and you want to be able to maintain as much health, pain-free, and longevity as you can. So that's who I'm talking to today. If you are someone who's like, I've never been into this exercise thing, like that ship sailed so long ago, you can't talk me into it. This is for you. What we're going to do is talk through 4 different body systems you want to be thinking about as you age, so you can kind of think of the what and why behind them, so that as you age, you maintain as much strength, dignity, all that as you can. And when I say dignity, that's my secret term for you want to be able to go to the bathroom by yourself and sit down and get back up without help for as old as you can get. Okay. So we're going to go through 3 different systems, but 4 different things. So the first system is your brain and your heart. And when I say heart, I'm talking mental health. Your how well your brain works, how well your mental health works, how you're feeling. And that has everything to do with movement. As we age, it is amazing how when we get older and older and older, we, start forgetting what was the word for that thing, or, we start thinking a little bit more slowly. Movement keeps the blood flowing, gets more oxygen to your brain, and gets that brain continuing to be thinking. So we could say that's why cardiovascular exercise is important. That's why people go for walks. That's why people do things to get their heart pumping. If you're like, you know what, I'm never going to work on getting my heart pumping, I never want to do this, then what you want to do, if you want to keep that heart and brain as mental health, I'm thinking an emotional heart, is just keep your body moving as much as you can. That means at minimum, you're getting your butt out of that couch every hour at minimum. In fact, that's not even enough. You really need to be getting out of your seat at least every half hour. Our body's actually made to move somewhat all day. But I know, I'm sitting in a chair. I'm sitting in a desk chair right now. I'm sitting in a super fancy ergonomic desk chair that has like 12 different ways I can adjust it so that I can stay seated more without actually having too many issues. So I get it. I'm right there with you. So movement is the first piece you want to think about. So any and every chance you get, the body is made to move. So the more you move your body actually likes it. It actually does help with mental health. Now, I am not a mental health professional, and I am not a subscriber at all of saying, just go exercise and you'll feel great. Whee! Like, no. Wow, that came out of my mouth way too easy. No. That's actually really hurtful for somebody who's having mental health issues to be told, push the happy button and just go for a jog and you'll feel great. No. We're just talking about moving. So your brain, your heart. Okay. The next one, disease. Chronic illness. Well, first of all, 70% of us over the age of 40 have at least one chronic illness. 40% of us over the age of 40 have 2 or more. Yeah, in the United States. Yes, that's CDC's numbers right now. Crazy. One thing that when we think about movement and why does this movement thing work for us, we want to think about the lymphatic system. Okay, so when you think, oh gosh, like this movement, it really won't make that big of a deal. Think of it this way. Take your mind, scan your whole body. Right, not too far underneath your skin, you have this whole system called the lymphatic system. And the fitness industry tends to ignore the lymphatic system because it's hard to make money off of it, Really, that's why. That's why you can't, it's movement helps, but, it's not like muscles, you can work out your muscles at the gym and then your muscles get bigger and stronger and they look good and you look good in the mirror. And, no, the lymphatic system is a whole bunch of little nodules right underneath your skin, hundreds of them throughout your body. They take toxins, waste, all kinds of things out of your body, move it in towards your torso into your body to where it can metabolize it and get rid of toxins. And so this is why when we say exercise, let's not say the word exercise. Let's pretend the word exercise is a swear word here. Let's just say movement, moving our body. Moving our body is what gets the crud in those lymphatic, in the nodules. Like, you ever get a really bad cold or really sick and you get those big lumps on the side of your neck kind of by the jaw? Yeah, those are your lymph nodes. I know. Your body does not have a way to push the fluids out of your lymph nodes into your body to where it can metabolize it and get rid of the toxins. Movement is the only thing that does that. So if you are sedentary much of the time, your body isn't flushing and getting rid of that. If you are moving, you don't even have to get your heart rate up. You don't even have to jog or walk or really anything. Just get your body physically moving. That gets the lymph nodes going. So that's something you want to think about. And it really is a wellness piece and a disease prevention piece. And like I said, there really isn't any money to be made off of it. So that's why you don't see it marketed to you like you see so many other things. Okay, so there we go. Your mental health is movement. The lymphatic system is movement. The next piece is your mobility, your joints, your ankles, your knees, your back, your shoulders, your hips, your spine. Mobility is so important. And here's what happens as we age. We get to be about 40 years old and we think we're 30. We get to be about 50 years old and we know we're probably not 30, but we still think we're 30. We get to be about 60 years old and we're like, okay, maybe I'm about 35 years old now. We get to be 70 years old and then we're like, holy crap, what just happened to my body? Like everything aches. I can't move as much. My knees don't bend as much. My ankles don't bend as much. The mobility piece, how much you can move your joints. Like just take your hands right now and rotate your wrists around and around. Just draw little circles with your fingers. Rotate those wrists around and around. That wrist mobility, it goes away if you don't use it. Now pick up one foot and draw ankle circles. Take your toes and just draw a circle with your ankles around. Flex your ankle, point your ankle, bend your knee, straighten your knee. Like all of that, if you don't use it, it slowly goes away and you blink, 20 years goes by, you don't have the mobility. So you don't have to do a big fitness class to keep your mobility going. You can just literally sit on the couch. Bend your elbows tight as you can. Straighten your elbow nice and straight. Take your arm, draw great big arm circles. Keep those shoulders mobile. Do some stretches. Keeping that mobility is so important because here's the thing that nobody tells us when we're younger. I mean, when we're younger, like 40, 50 years old, nobody tells us, unless you have aging folks in your life or unless you're like me and you work with people all the time. Nobody tells you that the time ticks by and sneaks up on us and you lose your ankle mobility and you lose ability to raise your toes up off the floor as much as you used to. And then what happens? You go for a walk and you're like, boop, ba-doop, ba-doop. And all of a sudden you start tripping on things more. You start stumbling on things you never stumbled on before and you become a greater fall risk. So my friends, 40, 50, 60 years old, we got to get ourselves out of denial. We got to quit pretending we're 30. Actually, mentally, stay 30. Stay 30 your whole life when you're mentally. I think that's awesome because I'm still 30, 5, 7. I don't know. Okay, I'm 50. But keep working on that ankle mobility, lifting those toes. You can sit at your desk, sit at your couch, lift the toes towards your shins. Lift, 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 lift. Just keep that mobility, because when you lose it, it's really hard to get it back. Yeah. So mobility, super, super important. It also is a huge, huge piece in pain management. So if you're able to move your body, it doesn't even take exercise. Remember, I'm talking to people who don't like to exercise. If you're able to just move your body, think about every joint you have, get your body to move as much as you can, you will continue to maintain so much more mobility in all your joints, ligaments, tendons, all of that. You'll be less likely to get injured, and you will have less pain. And let me tell you, that is a good thing. So there we go. We're going to move our bodies. We got one more coming. We're going to move our bodies. That's going to help our brain, our mental health. It's also going to help our hearts. We're going to move our bodies also for the lymphatic system, knowing we're purging crud out of our system. We're going to move our bodies for the purpose of challenging how much our joints can stay mobile. And then the Holy Grail, we're going to move our body for strength. The most important, if I could only pick one strength exercise, it's going to be seated to standing, seated to standing, seated to standing, also known as a squat. So this is where we're sitting on our chair. You could pretend it's the toilet. Yep, we're sitting on the toilet. We want to be able to get up and down from that thing, no problem. So when we're seated in our chairs, we get our feet about hip width apart, get stable on our feet. We're going to try to stand up without using our hands. If we can't stand up from a chair without using our hands, and we are otherwise healthy or don't have some other unique issue going on, we are going to do our damnedest to make sure that every time we're sitting in a chair and we get up, we think about that. Slowly stand up with control. Slowly sit down with control. Don't flop. Slowly stand up and sit down, and up and down. That's right. So every single time, because that is a huge, huge, huge piece of your independence. So you want to be able to sit, you want to be able to twist, you want to be able to get yourself mobile. That's what's going to keep you rocking and rolling much, 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 much better into much, much, much later years. You can do all of this without traditional exercise, pretty much. Now, is it technically better if you incorporate more exercise? Yes. Are there non-exercise branded things you can do, like dancing in your living room, going for strolls, doing gardening? Abso-frequently. Yes, 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 yes. All good, all good, all good. But you can see how something like gardening, it's actually kind of the holy grail. You've got the movement. You've got the movement for lymphatic. You've got the mobility because you're squatting down, standing up, and you've got the strength because you're picking things up, squatting down, moving around. So our bodies are made to do this. Whew. Okay. That just felt important today to go through this. So if you are a non-exerciser and you want to maintain as much dignity and independence for as long as you can, these are the areas you want to focus on. If you've lost a ton and you're thinking, gosh, Lynn, it's too late for me. I've lost way too much. Check in with me and let's confirm if that's really true for you or not. Because I work with lots of folks who are bedridden in their 70s. And I get them up to walking miles and doing squats and having way more energy. And I know that feels overwhelming. If you're a non-exerciser, that feels super duper overwhelming. Like, oh my gosh, no, not only, yeah. But check in with me. If you're thinking like, gosh, maybe it's too late. Maybe maybe I'm too broken. Maybe I've let myself go for too long. You'd be amazed. You'd be amazed at how much improvement you can make. And that's why I named my company Couch to Active, because I have so much compassion for the reality of the couch is comfortable. And it's not like I'm sitting on the couch all the time. I got a life I want to live. I want to love my life. I don't want to spend my whole life exercising. I want to live my life, but I want to be as pain-free as possible, as disease-free as possible. I want to have good mental health. I want to have good relationships. I want to love people and be loved by people. That's really what life is about. And so the more we can get our bodies to be able to do stuff for us, the easier and that stuff becomes living our life that we love. So yeah, it's not too late. And if you think I'm wrong, reach out to me. We'll have a conversation and we'll figure out where you're at and where you can go. To my non-exerciser friends. All right, that's it for today. I hope you have a great rest of your week, and I'll see you on another episode soon. Head on over to couch2active.com. That's couch2active.com. Reach out, send me an email. Let me know you're listening to this. Send me any questions, episode topics. Yeah, that'd be great. All righty. See y'all later. Bye-bye.